Alright, welcome back. We are going to be modeling a skateboard today. And here's our skateboard, so we got all our dimensions on here. When we draw this, what we're going to do first is draw it kind of from a right side view. And you can picture it almost cut in half like a section view. With these dimensions down here. And I know it's not the greatest detail in the world, but I think we can still make it out. And then we'll sweep that along this path to kind of create this curve. So we'll use those dimensions for that, and kind of do some mirroring and things along those lines, kind of there. And then to get this will kind of give us a rectangular shape, and then we'll cut it into this oval lastly to give it the final shape here. So let's head to our Fusion and start a new drawing. Oops, I don't need that. I meant to hit the eyeball. Alright. We're going to do the right side view first, so right click and create a sketch. And the first thing I want to do is, we're still doing this in millimeters, I'm going to draw a construction line that is constrained to the origin. And we'll just take it straight up, does not matter how far, and we are good to go there. That's going to be our mirroring line. Now let's turn this off and let's reference back to this. We're going to go out straight 50, and then we've got a tangent arc that comes up to this point, and we can locate this point right here by looking at these dimensions. It's 105 out and 9 up. So let's go ahead and do that. So we still have our line. We're going to go out 50. And now I hit S for search, and I'm going to start typing in point. I'm just going to place that point out there anywhere for now. And I'm going to dimension it from the origin to that straight down, and that number is 105. 105, and then from this line to this is 9. And then we're going to create an arc, and that we want the 3-point arc from there and tangent to it. Okay, so it's tangent to that, so we can live with it just like that. Tangent down here and just ending out there. Okay, that's exactly what we want there. We can hit escape on our keyboard. And now what we're going to do is, I wasn't sure if that was it. There it is. So go to modify, and we're going to hit offset. What are we offsetting? This line. And we want it to go that way. And we want it to be 12 millimeters. Oops, so that should be a negative 12, obviously. That takes it the right direction. And we can hit OK on that. Grab a line tool again and just connect these points. And that kind of closes that. And then the last thing we want to do on this particular part is mirror this over. So what are we going to be mirroring? This whole thing. What's the mirror line? I click on that box. And we do that original construction line that we drew. And there's kind of that shape that mirrors what we have going on right here. Alright, so we are good on this sketch for now. Going to get back to our home view here. And now we're going to create a new sketch, because what we need to do is draw what we see here. We're going to do it in the almost exact same fashion that we just did. We'll draw this one in the front view though. So we're going to go out, straight line 300, place a point that's out there 420 up. Alright, and we'll make that same tangent curve and all that good stuff. So straight 300, point at 420. Alright, so make sure that we get the front plane very carefully and right click it. Create a sketch. And I don't think we'll need the construction line. We should be able to maybe reference this one when we do our mirroring. So we'll just do a line from the origin. And we're out 300. Search and point. And we'll place that point somewhere about there. Hit D for dimension. and that's out there 400, and from there to there is up 20, and then we want that 3-point arc again, and we want it tangent down there. Alright. Excuse me. And we do not need to offset this one, but we do need to mirror it. And so we are then going to come over here. What do we want to mirror? This and this. Mirror line. It's not letting me do that, so I'm going to hit cancel real quick. I'm going to hit P for project. And now I'm going to project that construction line, or whatever that center line is. That might just be my real drawing from before, but that's totally fine for a mirroring line. And we'll just reselect this stuff with a mirror line. Select that one, and it goes over just like we need to. And we are good there. Alright, so we are good there. Now that's our sweep path. So let's go back up to our home view. And now we're going to create a sweep. It asks us what profile. So that's the first thing that we sketched. What path. That way. And also that way. And that creates what we want there for the kind of outline, I guess the base of the skateboard, and then we'll kind of cut out its exact shape. Okay, and now what we have to do is give it that shape that we just mentioned. So if we go back and look at that shape, from the center of this arc to the center of this arc, we have 580. And then the radius is 200, which means all the way, excuse me, the radius is 100, which means all the way across this is 200. And you should be thinking to yourself right now, man, there's a lot of ways to draw that. Kind of looks like a slot, so I could draw center lines and then use the slot tool. I could just draw 2 circles and connect the lines that way. There's a whole bunch of ways to draw that. So let's head back to our Fusion drawing here. And the first thing you should be thinking now is, okay, where do I draw it, right? Do we just draw it on the top? Oh, you could. What we're going to do, though, is construct an offset plane. And we want that offset. I'd like to just use that top panel just so I'm sure that top plane, excuse me. And so I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to hover over the XY. I'm going to click that. So it's perpendicular, parallel to this. And we want it to be up above it. And we're going to make it up above it 50 millimeters. Okay? And then that's going to be the plane in which we draw our new sketch on. So zoom in there, right click on that and hit create sketch. And what we should see is that plane is above it. Let's just make sure. Yeah, we can see that we are hovering above the skateboard. That is just what we want. So we go back to looking at it, and it's going to be, coincident to our origin, all that good stuff. I am kind of torn here on how to draw this. If you guys have a different way you want to do it, you can do that now, as long as it ends up with, these dimensions. I think I'm just going to do a center point rectangle. And it was 580 for the length and 200 for the overall width. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm just going to draw an arc, center point arc. I want to get to that center point. Go end to end, and draw it over. And do the exact same thing down here. And you could trim these out if you want it to be all one surface, but it's just as easy to do that when we extrude it. And so what I'm going to do now is just hit E. Maybe not. My thing's just lagging a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to hit E for extrude. And we're going to extrude that surface that we just drew. Okay? And we want it to go down. And we're going to use a new operation that we have not done before. So we've done cut and join. This time we want it to be the intersection of where I pull that down through it. And we can just hit all for the distance. Okay? And then we will hit OK. And you can see now that that has chopped up my skateboard to look exactly how I want it to look. I'm going to turn the origin off here temporarily anyway. And now I want to assign something to this. And so we're going to see what kind of materials we can work with over here. Excuse me. Let's go wood for now. Laminated veneer is the one I'm leaning towards right now, since that is how they make a skateboard. Plywood sheathing, not bad. Softwood, walnut. Let's do that laminated one. Laminated veneer. And it doesn't come with a great looking, material. So let's see if we can then change that. I don't know what they have for sure. I've not really messed with this stuff too much. So they've got some different looking stuff here. Unfinished wood, finished wood. All sorts of different stuff here. Hardboard, MDF, particle board, oak, end grain, MDF, wood solid, finished, ash gray, glossy mahogany, all sorts of good stuff here. So let's, what do we want to choose? Is there anything under miscellaneous? I was kind of hoping to find a plywood that looked normal. Let's just go with a normal wood. I don't even know what it's going to look like if I put cherry on there. Let's just do that. One of those first ones when we open up wood, cherry. We can just leave it at that for now. If you want to put on a different kind of wood, feel free, knock yourself out. What I'll look for when we open up the properties here, what I'll be looking for is that your physical material was laminated veneer. I don't care what it will look like. You can kind of have fun looking around at that stuff. Laminated veneer. We'll be looking at this area, and really, that's pretty much it. Zoom in maybe a little bit, and that will be our answer key for our skateboard. All right, thank you.